Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about this DoBlack world's first credit card with a carbon limit. So this is a voluntary credit card that you can use. You know, all the sheeple will get this thinking they're going to save the planet, and what it does is it actually limits your spending. Once you reach a certain amount of carbon credits that you've used, then basically it puts a stop on what you're able to purchase after that. So you're voluntarily agreeing to a digital kind of slavery, which is pretty crazy. So here it states that not only does this credit card help users track and measure their CO2 emissions with their purchases, but it also puts a limit to the climate impact of their spending. So I don't know who's going to sign up for this, but there's a lot of people who you know, they're out to lunch, so they'll definitely do it. So it goes on to state here that where is it? Simply put, the first card ever to prevent consumers from exceeding their limit, not based on their credit limit, but based on levels of CO2 emissions caused by their consumption. I don't know how popular this is. This article is from 2019. So this is a few years ago now, just before ClownVid hit. So I'm just wondering how popular this is. I haven't been able to find any new information on this DoBlack credit card, but anyways, let's continue. So where is it here? So when you start thinking about this stuff, it's pretty crazy. So they have the urgent need to cut carbon emissions to meet the Paris Agreement. And it says here, greenhouse gas emissions will need to be cut in half by 2030. So that's like 7 years away. And the average citizen in Sweden counts for 10 tons of CO2 emissions, with approximately 60% linked to their consumption. So you start thinking about it, and what goes on in my mind is basically they want you to consume less. And okay, you consume less. So if we're not purchasing those products that we used to buy, and we have to basically cut everything by half, well, I guess that means half the jobs are gone, half the industry is gone, and half of our enjoyment is gone. And the problem I have with all of this is just the starting point. And you know, even if we all did all this, you know, these people are going to move the goalposts and say, you know what, we did a lot, but we need to do more and much faster. So you know, no one's going to be able to fly for a couple of years or something crazy, because as we've seen with ClownVid, they just keep kicking the can down the road. They keep moving the goalpost. You know, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and then it turned into almost 3 years of just utter ridiculousness. Is Doconomy. So if you want to look at this stuff, and it'll explain everything there. Doconomy.com is where you need to go in order to see all of this. And consumers could cut their carbon footprint in half by choosing lower impact products. So they're trying to basically control you, obviously, into what you purchase, how you spend your time off work, if you travel, where you travel, and all this kind of stuff. And you can see here they've listed everything. There's something called a carbon tagger. Where is it here? I had it on one of these pages. I'll find it in a second. But anyways, they've tagged every single product on planet Earth, and every single piece of wildlife and so forth. Everything has completely been cataloged, right? And for these jeans here, so here's your carbon footprint. So if you go over that amount, maybe you won't be able to purchase these jeans in the future. So it's pretty crazy, very ridiculous. So here on the 2030 calculator, so they've got t-shirts, jeans, you can do everything. It's called 2030calculator.com, and I guess you can go there and it'll give you your carbon footprint depending on what you purchase and the different products that you enter into the system. So I did some digging around and on the Doconomy website, and I found the employees of the website. No big deal. I always like to look at, you know, who's running these companies and so forth. But what caught my eye was this, that every employee's profile, they list the usage of CO2. This one's in 2022. It looks like it's gone down 5%. I don't know what all of it means, but I'm assuming this means how much CO2 Frederick Forsberg, the creative director for Doconomy, has used. And it's for all of them. Peter Kasselberg, it's gone up 27 or down 27%. Carolina Hatara up 37%. So she's bad. It's in red. This person, Andrew Green, is at 0. Alexander Elmfeld is up 30%, 37%, so that's bad. His carbon footprint right now is 8.81. And you almost wonder if they're going to start getting people to have this on their social media profiles, or where it's almost like a game. Well, what's your carbon footprint today? Well, what's your carbon footprint? And then you'll get ridiculed if your carbon footprint's going up, and you might get a prize, or you might get something, you know, whatever it is, if your carbon footprint goes down. So then they're kind of tricking you into, of course, consuming less and being more of a sheeple, and just confining you and controlling you more based on what your carbon footprint is. I could totally see them implementing something like this, and you could totally, on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, like people would just love that. Oh, what's yours? Like, you know what I mean? I could just, it sounds like something that they are probably working on, because why else would they have it on the profile pages of employees of Doconomy.com, which of course is the company creating this credit card carbon footprint tracker and basically carbon stopper. One sec here. And here's just more of these people. They all got they're all bad. Look, all their carbon footprints are going up, so it's in red. I think that's what it means. It looks like it is. It's just strange how they plan on implementing this stuff. It's just unbelievable. But we're living in clown world, so what do you expect, right? So yeah, look at this. Just all these people. These are the people, the libtards of the world, who think they're saving the planet by enslaving themselves, their friends, their family, their children, if they have any, their future children. These are them. They think they're such heroes when really just a bunch of suckers destroying the world based on absolutely nothing, based on just garbage. BS science. And of course, like Chris Sky was showing, the reason I'm doing this, like I said, is just to make it clear on the screen so everyone can see it. Here's a menu based out of, I think this is the UK, Bristol, England, yes. And the menu for a restaurant there. And of course, they have not only calorie counting, but they have carbon counting. You can see here, 168 grams of carbon. So they're just trying to make you aware of what you're eating and how it affects the planet. It doesn't seem like, in my opinion, a very good marketing strategy. If you own a restaurant, they're going to a restaurant just to relax and get away, but now you're going to show them not only how many calories they're eating, but also their carbon footprint. It seems very odd, but it's a way of conditioning people to understand that you're part of the problem. This is why you're part of the problem, because you're doing things like you're having a red pepper hummus with pumpkin seed dukkha and bread, and it's 168 grams of carbon. So maybe you don't want to do that. Why don't you go for something that's a little bit less? Like, is there anything less here? I can't see. That one is probably one of the lower ones. Oh, this one's a little bit less. Marinated mushroom anchovies with cannelli beans and caper pinto. That's got 152 grams of carbon. So maybe why don't you take that one just to save the planet? So it's always going to be in the back of your mind, oh, what can I do to save the planet? Meanwhile, the only thing going on here is you're getting digitally enslaved, and you're getting tricked into a more dystopian future for absolutely no reason. Ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. And then there's this restaurant coming from Canada, and this article's 3 years old, February 12th, 2020, just before ClownVid hit us. And this restaurant is called High Level Diner, and they're doing the same thing. They have a carbon footprint on their menu as well, and showing their patrons how bad they are for even daring to eat at their restaurant. Like, what are you doing here? Like, you're supposed to entice people into a restaurant, not scare them from coming in based on their carbon footprint. But we live in clown world, so these people have no clue as to how humans operate, and it's like you're supposed to get people to come to the restaurant. You don't want them to stay home, because guess what? Then you won't have a restaurant. Owners of a high-level diner. And here, like Chris Scott was showing in his video, basically when you're booking a flight through Google, not only does it show you can choose based on how many stops and which airlines, how many bags, but now it's also based on emissions. And if I was doing a flight from New York to Chicago, it shows the different emissions of the different carriers. So this one, they're trying to entice you to take a flight that has less emissions, which is crazy. This whole thing is just out of control. And like right now, it's just like we're being the tinfoil hat people. But just like ClownVid, once this gets implemented, people are like, oh, how the hell did you know this? Well, all the data is available there for you. They're not just going to give us all this data unless they plan to use it against us. So what's the point of knowing all of this stuff if we're not going to be using it, or they're not going to force us to use it? There's a reason why they're doing this. They're climatizing us, no pun intended. But anyways, they're trying to get us used to the fact of course, you got to live below your means. You have to live 50% below your means because, of course, you know, you're going to kill the planet. There's going to be nothing left. We have to do this. It's an emergency. It's a climate emergency. Take it seriously. So I clicked here and it tells you. So typical for this route is 99 kilograms of CO2. This one has 95. So you're a good little boy because, of course, it's 3% lower than the other ones. You're such a good little boy. Give yourself a pat on the back. But don't go out and treat yourself because, of course, your CO2, your carbon emissions will go up. So you're a good boy, but go sit in your home in a closet with the lights off because you don't want to burn any electricity and stuff like that. Just sit there for an hour, and that's how you're going to, you know, that's how you will treat yourself in the future. Just sitting there like a little slave and knowing that you did something good for the New World Order. And then view low emissions options. So you click that and it'll just show you, you know, options to lower your emissions. So where's the emissions one here? So these are, so they're showing you the least emissions that you can get. If I take that out of the equation, it'll go back and show us based on flight price. And I don't know what person is going to be purchasing a flight based on their emissions. It's like, if you guys don't want us flying, Klaus Schwab and the WF and all your little buddies, you guys can show us and lead by example. You stay home and you do your satanic clown rituals at Davos, whatever you want to call it, by Zoom. There's no reason for you to bring all those private jets to Davos. And what the hell is your carbon footprint? But of course, we all know what this is all about. It's not about stopping any kind of climate emergency. It's trying to stop the emergency of people waking up to the fact that we're getting screwed over royally, is what is actually really happening. So if you want to try this out yourself, all you have to do is go to Google and you click on more and there's flights. And you just type in a location, so Vancouver to, let's do Las Vegas, Nevada. You click on search, and of course it'll show you, it'll do the whole thing, and it's got the emissions right there, getting us used to, of course, not flying, and because we're bad and this and that, and it shows you which one is cheaper, and which one has less emissions, all this kind of stuff. So it's pretty hilarious in a sad way, not a good way. 25% plus emissions, plus 37% emissions, and so forth. Anyways, guys, this video is nothing mind-blowing. I just wanted to like piggyback off of what Chris Sky did, just to show you all the information how to find it. And once again, that website is showing the actual credit card is Doconomy.com, or you can type in carbon credit card into Google or whatever website you use to search, and that'll pop up. So spread this information far and wide. And let's make everybody aware of what they're trying to do here. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and share this video all over social media.